Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is perhaps the greatest limited edition ever issued from the modern Lange Sohne of Saxony. This is the Langematik Anniversary. Launched in 2000 in platinum with a Gronfo enamel dial, it was a series of 500 pieces to mark 10 years since the re-establishment of the Lange manufacture, which happened in 1990 under Günter Blümlein and Walter Lange. The watch in my hand is powered by the Saxomat caliber, and it is beautifully dimensioned and proportioned. So, 37 millimeters in diameter, 8.5 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 44 millimeters with a 19 millimeter spacing between the lugs. It's a beautiful, traditionally sized dress watch. And you can see on my wrist, the strap is fairly tight because it's not broken in, and it's substantial alligator, so I'm pulling it a little tight. I'm constricting my wrist a bit. The reality is that this watch will wear fine on a wrist as small as 13 centimeters circumference, and my wrist is 16, and it easily fits underneath a dress cuff. Taking a look at the strap itself, it is quite robust for a watch that's not very large. We have these large rectangular symmetrical scales that speak to a very good, expensive, and rare cut of the beast's hide. Those large rectangular symmetrical scales typically come from the belly. We have a semi-gloss black finish, a little bit of bolstering to give it volume. We've got a folded edge, monotone stitch, calfskin on the bottom, no crimping, no gouging, a brand new Lange factory strap, and you can see Lange in Glashütte, traditional homeland of German watchmaking. And of course, the name goes back to F.A. Lange and his creation of company under his name back in 1845 in a town that was previously known for glass blowing, silversmithing, and mining. Today, Glashütte has been reestablished as a center of German watchmaking, but it's worth noting that in the early 50s, under the communists, watchmaking was collectivized, and all of the previous brands that had existed in the area, including Lange Sohne, got folded into the GUB, the Glashütte Uhrenbetriebe, which is basically just the Glashütte watch factory. That's all it means. And so that company still exists today as Glashütte Original. Walter Lange, who fled to the West after World War II, reestablished the company under his own name in 1990. So that's the lineage of this name, and that's why this ancient name is being associated with a model year 2000 10-year anniversary watch, because this was literally 10 years of the new company. We have a pin buckle here, and you can see that it's got a little bit of soft fastening on the outside. The Lange name is made by Bussele d'Or. You can see the little B in there. It's a Swiss-made piece, which is why it has a Swiss hallmark. There is a little retention bar there, so if you use the smallest hole or you strap the watch down really tight, it can't get stuck on your wrist, so that prevents you from getting the strap pinned on the pin, that little retaining bar. And then there's an elevated bridge. The strap sits flush inside the buckle rather than stacking up and adding height underneath it. The case is quite familiar. Günter Blümlein, who is also an executive in the watch industry overseeing IWC and Jaeger-LeCoultre, he decided that Lange needed some sort of distinctive styling trait, and so these step lugs were his solution. Here you can see we have a very standard Lange case, albeit with one non-standard feature, which is this brushed mid-case portion. Not all of them feature that, but it adds a little bit of a differential finish. There's some soft beveling on the edge of the lugs, and then you can see the case back is stepped in somewhat, so when it's on the wrist it looks thinner than it really is. Running around to the dial side, you can see we've got the Lange branded crown, and then we got the dial in Gronfo enamel. I believe this execution is on a sterling silver base. I don't think it was until the Lange 1 Handwerkskunst that, and I think that was about in 2014, that Lange started doing enamel in-house, so this would have been done by an artisan brought in specifically for its experience with enamel. And I think the Lange 1 Handwerkskunst was 2014. After that, if you see enamel on a Lange dial, it's their own enamel. This was an artisanal collaboration. The design is very much that of a vintage East German pocket watch, right down to the distinctive period red numeral 12. We've got stylized Roman numerals, radially red, including a watchmaker's 4. You can see that we've got a little sunken disc for the sub-seconds. Usually when you have a feature like that on enamel, traditionally it would be a second disc placed into a hollow in the main disc. We have blue alpha hands, fired blue, and you can see the cannon pinion and the hand center, mirror polished. Chemin de fer, or railroad track, minute scale outboard. with diamond indices at the quarters, and then we've got the radially arrayed Arabic numerals for the sub-register. We also have a unique feature for time setting. Watch the seconds hand, 0 reset seconds. Once that is in place, there's very little dead angle to the crown. Almost from the moment you start moving it, the minute hand jumps, but the 0 reset makes it easier to set the watch precisely against a reference time to the second. So hacking and 0 reset. Out back, we have the Saxomat caliber and individual numbering. You can see this is number 347 of the 500 made. And you can also see that this case, too, was made in Switzerland because it has a Swiss hallmark on it. Lange has not and is not involved in the manufacturing of its cases. That's why you always see Swiss hallmarks on many of their cases. Only the SUG ones, I believe, are made in Germany. You can see this is a 3/4 rotor, so it has all the advantages of a micro rotor. Namely, it's as thin as a manual, and it has the big, open, unobstructed case back view as a manual. But you get more efficient winding than a classical micro rotor, and you get the convenience of an automatic. So what are we looking at here? Well, we're looking at the L921 7th revision, so the 921.7 automatic 46-hour power reserve, 3 Hertz beat rate, 36 joules, 5 position adjusted, which is the high horology and chronometer standard. It's got the 0 reset seconds. And then you might wonder what all of this text means. Okay, that is regulated in 5 positions. That is 36 joules. And then that specifically means 4 ball bearings. So that's a good example of them. Okay, decoration. We have German silver bridges and plates. That's a nickel copper zinc alloy with a champagne hue due to the presence of the copper elements. You can see we have snailing on the bridge for the winding system. We then have engine turning, beautifully arrayed, concentric in 2 different sides outboard. You can see it under the balance cock as well. Now we have black polish on the ratchet wheel, the swan's neck fine adjustment, the case clamp screws, and also the cap to the escape wheel cock right there. The escape wheel itself has been mirror finished. You could see that there is freehand engraving on the balance cock. This is a heritage element referencing historical practice in Glashütte. We have blued screws, but also polished screws. These blued screws fired blue. And then an interesting element, although this is designed to read as a 3/4 bridge like a pocket watch. You can see it's a little bit more complex and multi-piece, but we have beautiful mirrored anglage on the edges of the bridges, including the winding bridge at center. And then we have a little golden chaton cup for a pivot jewel to remind us that is how it would have been done in antiquity in pocket watch manufacture in East Germany. You press the jewel into the cup, you press or place the cup into the bridge. And then we have the rotor, which you can see features a combination of beveling, hammering or chiseling, and then satination. We have blued screws. Note that is a 21-karat rotor attached to a platinum mass, so a double precious metal rotor for maximum winding efficiency. Deeply impressive stuff. And blink and you'll miss it, but there is actually an interior angle right on the escape wheel cock. You can see where the bevels meet in a sharp crease, and that's done on mirror polished steel, so very impressive. All this with a 30-meter water resistance, but it is actually the dial that defines this watch as one of the best of Lange's modern limited editions. A rare Lange that you probably would not want to wear upside down. The dial is the defining piece here, and the main reason to desire it. The movement is almost like a bonus thrown in. This one is all about the artisanal Gronfo dial. These dials on sterling silver require up to 20 applications of vitreous or glass-based paint, which is then heated to over 800 degrees centigrade, and each succeeding layer and firing can result in popping, fracturing, explosion of the dials. This is an artisanal process with a high rejection rate. It's very difficult to achieve, and it's reminiscent of the kind of dials that would have been featured on 19th century and early 20th century German pocket watches. The enamel treatment, once it has made it through all of the applications and the firings, it is essentially ageless. It won't oxidize, it won't tarnish, it won't discolor, so its beauty is enduring. If you love this wonderful, historically inspired and beautifully wearably sized watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.